Every commercial pilot is always mentally prepared for that what-if scenario, particularly when starting the takeoff roll. With the engine spooling up to takeoff power, this is a critical time for the engines, and whilst rare, this is a common time for the engines to fail. Handling an engine failure after V1 is something that commercial pilots practice all the time in their simulator training, so much so that it becomes second nature. The most dangerous time for this to occur is straight after V1, which is when the aircraft is committed to takeoff. An engine failure now requires the quick thinking and action straight away from both pilots. The pilots will feel and hear the engine vibration and also be alerted with a master caution that one of the engines has failed. The pilot will then immediately use the rudder to counteract any yaw and pitch to around 12.5 degrees or follow the SRS commands on the flight director. Once a positive rate of climb has been established, the gear is brought up. The autopilot can then be engaged to help reduce the workload, and the heading bug is usually pulled so the aircraft continues straight out on current heading rather than following the original flight plan. This of course is subject to the engine out procedure that will have been briefed on the ground before takeoff. Not until the aircraft is above 400 feet and flying safely will the pilots then confirm the engine failure and start to run the ECAM actions, which involves setting the ignition to on, closing the thrust lever for the affected engine, and turning off the starter valve for the affected engine to cut off the fuel. If damage has been suspected, then there is also ECAM actions with regards to fire suppressant. Once reaching the engine out acceleration altitude, push to level off so the aircraft can begin accelerating away. As you're accelerating away, clean up the flaps on schedule, and once reaching green dot speed, at that point pull for open climb and set maximum continuous thrust. With these actions all complete, you can then continue to climb to your safe predetermined altitude and holding point before returning back to the airport. Cool, calm, collected, and practice no end so you're in safe hands should this ever occur.